Yeah, that's what the record button does. When you touch it, it makes you cough at least once. This thought popped into my head as I was thinking about somebody. And I was considering how people will, not just people, people are the main reason that we deal with this. People will use their self-worth. They'll use their ideas of what empathy should be. They'll use, they'll use shame. They'll use ideas, like false ideas of compassion. Or maybe even just boredom. I don't know, maybe they're just fucking bored. Maybe that's what they do. They ask just strange tasks of us. Like, okay, I dated this girl. She pretty much ruined my life. I pretty much was the main reason that any of it happened at all in the first place. Speaking relatively, of course. I dated this girl. She was toxic as fuck. She didn't realize that she was toxic, I don't think. I mean, most people don't realize that they're toxic. Like, I don't know how many people in my life. I had a counselor. I had a mentor figure. I had even like my mom. I had some people telling me, hey, don't be with this girl. Do not be with this girl. You shouldn't be with this girl, Seth. I was as vulnerable as could be spiritually, as vulnerable as I could be physically, as vulnerable as I could be as pretty much a human at the time that I started being with this girl. And so this is just like a short synopsis of how I met her. So I went to a graphic design school. I went to a community college that had a graphic design program. Pretty kick-ass one. I saw this girl, and holy shit, she just like wowed me. Like, there was nothing wowing about her. Like, she was really, really skinny. She was really short. She didn't wear any makeup. She kind of looked like a punk rock chick, or maybe like a scene kid that doesn't wear any makeup or anything like that. I don't really know how to say it, but she just like, I knew I had to talk to her. It's like a love at first sight kind of thing. A couple months go by. After I'd first met her in one of our classes, we just happened to get matched up together, and like our get to know each other kind of first day kind of thing of our second semester. And then after that, I was just like, I gotta know this girl. Ended up having a computer class with her, like a HTML coding class with her, and another friend who actually she went to college, or she went to high school with, that girl's like one of my best friends, for sure. But this girl that I dated, dude, she tried to kill herself like 3 months after I met her, and I didn't know about it till, so it was like March she tried to kill herself. I didn't know about it till maybe like 2 months later, maybe a month later. But the whole thing was orchestrated by God, and just showed me how far I'm willing to let myself go just so that other people can feel okay. Like, I was a psychopath in the relationship that I had with this girl. I was a fucking psychopath. I was leaving work. I would leave my apartment. I would drive a half an hour at a time if she wasn't texting me back, just to make sure that she wasn't killing herself. Like, she told me all these things about how her family doesn't support her at all, that she was completely alone, nobody loved her pretty much, all this stuff, like all this horrible, 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 degrading stuff about how her life was just the worst, the fucking worst. Her whole family loved me, dude, and I loved her whole family. They were all so kick-ass. Like, she talked shit about her mom, and then her mom would be like super nice to me, and then she'd talk shit about her dad, and her dad was like the chillest and was like pretty stoked for me to come around. Her younger brother was like the coolest fucking kid, still is so rad. He's a skater, he plays guitar, he's fucking dope, dude. But her and I were in this just conundrum of a downward spiral. If it's like two people, it's like when two eagles mate, they lock they lock talons or something, and they just like free fall down to the earth, something like that. It's like that's what her and I were doing, except it was straight down to fucking concrete with spikes, and they were poisoned. We were fucked. We were fucked. I think we only dated legitimately for 1 month, and we were together for like, I want to say like 7 or 8 months. And dude, it was the most traumatizing, intimate relationship I've probably ever had. I can't even say that, because I've had other girls that have just messed me up because I was just so willing to be contorted and distorted to be pleasing to them, you know? Like I was the harsh, like brutal, like blunt force, stick it to you, say any kind of joke kind of person still, even back then. But I was so fucking worried about every little thing that I did and how it affected the people around me, especially women that I would say that I loved. Like, I love these women. I love them. I still love them. I still love these people. They're children of God, you know? I don't have to fucking worry about their worth. But back then, dude, we had no worth. There was no self-worth. And then we looked at the other person, and that was all we had. And so it's like, I was her lifeline, but my fucking cord was sticking out of the outlet, and there was like many flammable things around us. And at any moment, we could have just been done. Like, and thank God she didn't try to like kill herself or anything after that, because who knows what the fuck that would have done. But just talking about this horrible, horrible, horrible toxic relationship that I just had on my drive home, the main reason I want to talk about it is because I ran into another girl that was extremely similar to her. And I was like kind of catching feelings and whatnot, and knowing what I knew from years ago, the experience that I gained through the suffering of not knowing if someone's okay, not knowing if they're gonna be okay, just all the stress of trying to make things better and trying to fix things and make people happy. I got that from my upbringing and from just God having put in me a heart that wants people to be okay. And guess what? The truth is, everyone is okay. So this other girl, I get a text from her, and she says that she feels really unsafe, and she's at a bar with like 2 friends, and me, I'm just at home chilling with my doggo. Me and my dog Honda, we're just chilling at home, just hanging out. And this girl texts me, and she says, "Kay, can you come pick me up?" She's out at the bars. And I say, "Yeah, where are you at? You know, just, it's fine, I can come get you. Like, I'm here to help." And this is kind of like when I was crushing on her. I wasn't like trying to do her any favors. She legitimately said, "I saw an ex-boyfriend and I feel really unsafe. Could you come pick me up?" So I drive to the bar. I text her that I'm outside. There's nowhere to park at all. Nowhere to park. So you have to sit there, and then I text her, and she can text back. She comes outside, and I see her, and she's like a long-ass ways away. And then she tells me, she goes back in or some shit, tells me, "Hey, you should come inside." And I was just like, didn't you just say you were like feeling traumatized and you wanted to like leave? And you felt unsafe? No, but now you want me to come into the bar and hang out with you after you said you wanted to leave? And I was just like, okay. I'm outside. I have my dog with me. I brought my dog with me just so that I wouldn't have to go into the bars. Like, I had no idea what the dog was going to do. It was kind of like a buffer. If my dog wasn't there, I probably would have ended up having a shitty night. But I had a good night, knowing that I wasn't there to impress this girl. I wasn't there to do anything except considerably take her from the place that she was in, which I was capable of, and put her in a place where she felt safe. And it just flooded my mind with everything that the girl that I dated did to me, where she wouldn't tell me things, and then when she did tell me things, it was just like the motive and intention was just completely haywire and not even close to the original desire, which was, hey, I feel unsafe, get me somewhere safe. And now it's, hey, come inside, have some drinks, dance with me. I ended up having to drive like 25 minutes to a different town or something just to drop her off, which is like totally fine. I have no problem with it. And by that point, straight up, I was horny, and I was like, it's fucking, I don't even know, fucking 2 in the morning, 2:20 in the morning. I'm tired, you're tired, I'm horny, I don't want to say it. I didn't say it, and she was like, well, if your dog wasn't here, you could come inside and cuddle. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm really glad my dog's here, so I don't have to go inside and cuddle. I'm really fucking glad. If I had to deal with another emotional vampire who sucked away at more than just then, dude, I don't want any of that. I can't have any of that. God has delivered me from the abyss that is thinking that I have to find self-worth from anyone or acquire it from anyone that's human, that is also a failure. Like this girl going out to the bar, like, whatever, man. I'm not really a bar kind of person. But it's like, you send out an SOS, I'm there to fucking deliver, and then all of a sudden it was just a boy who cried wolf. Don't we do that so much in our lives? When we're unafraid and unsure of one thing, it means the whole plan is botched, right? It takes a really determined, willful, a determined and will-driven and hard-headed and maybe understanding or maybe an ignorant, I don't know. It takes the spirit. Honestly, it takes the Spirit of God for anybody to endure what we're enduring in this life. To consider that I don't have to deal with farce relationships and bullshit I love yous anymore, and I don't have to deal with anything that God is not having me deal with. It's all a testament to the work that He's done. You know, if I just spent this whole time complaining about this girl with no resolve, I would just have a sad, woe is me relationship video. But because of the truth of our expectation, we know that we're given a greater calling to understand that these people really are suffering. Like, the moment that she saw her ex-boyfriend, she could have, she could have done anything. She could have fucking walked up to him and been like, hey, baby, what's up, boy? She could have walked away. She could have left. Some reason, she messages me and lets me know that, hey, you can come pick me up. Not everyone that's asking for help actually wants the help. There's a lot of people who love what we have to say, who love that we have a way out of this world, but when you hold out your hand to them, they don't want to take your hand. I used to be that way. That's the whole reason I even came into the belief, is because the thought of asking for help disgusted me growing up, because I just always believed that I was meant to suffer. It was put in my head from the moment I was born into that my young Christian family, my mom and dad and brother. It was rules, rules, rules. This is what you're supposed to do. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I grew up, my mom had a daycare in our house growing up in Minnesota till I was 3. I don't know how long. I think she had it maybe in 90 is when she started, or 91. I can't remember. 91 is when they moved up to Minneapolis, so it might be around then. My brother was born in 93. I was born in 96. So my mom had a daycare for a number of years. So I'm sure that I heard Seth no and Seth don't do that a lot. I know I have, ever since having gained much more of my memory. But the world is hurting, and the world knows it. There's some of the people of this world that hold out their hands and like, all right, help me, please help me. There's not a lot of safety nets being thrown out there. There's not a lot of floaty devices being tossed out. There's a lot of drowning people. There's a lot of people who bob up and down on the surface and they don't come back up. And I don't really mean this in a sad way. I don't. I mean it in the reality that at one point we all abandoned ship, and we were all in the waters of chaos in the world, in the spiritual realm that just tossed us to and fro with every undertow and every current. We had no idea what was underneath of us. We had no idea what we were dealing with. We had no idea the sharks in the water. We had no fucking clue. And if you hear about any believer heralding the truth, any true believer that is founded on the faith of Christ, you know it. They're unwavered by anything you do or say. Anything. Like, I could have said anything to that girl that night at the bar, and she would have, I don't know, freaked the fuck out, thought I was trying to do something inappropriate or what. I don't even know. My mind, like, we obviously had bad communication because she couldn't even fucking check her phone to come outside when I was out there. I waited outside out of the bar like 20 minutes, I think. She's like, hold on, I'm still here. Alright, you go fucking enjoy the world. I'm not gonna enjoy the world the way that you do. I can't do that. I can't live like a hopeless dumbass. Like, I can't do it. And that's not just this specific person. I'm talking in general. As a human, I cannot live as an ignorant dumbass who doesn't have an expectation. If I was the one in that bar asking for help and help showed up, you better best damn fucking believe that unless I fucking saw Jesus Christ on the dance floor, I'd be out the door. I'd leave. I don't want anything to do with this fucking bullshit. I don't know why anyone does the things they do other than they're supposed to. I don't know why people think that hearts are fun to toy with. If people really want the straightforward answer from me or the straightforward response, ask me straightforward. I'm not a part of this bullshit beat around the bush, talk about talking about it kind of culture. I'm straightforward. I know what the truth is. I know that a lot of you don't know what the truth is. I know that I don't need to prove myself in any way to any of you. I don't need to show you my love to let you know that it's real. I don't have to chase you down and make sure you're not killing yourself to let you know that I care. I've been down those roads, man. They're fucking dark. It's like walking barefoot down a trail full of razor blades and thorns, and you're sprinting to save somebody. You don't care how much it fucking hurts underneath. You don't care how much it pains you to get to them. That's all you want, is to get to them because they told you they needed you. True believers are so fucking helpless. Those who hold on to the world, they hold on to the world with all they got, man. All they fucking got. I let go of that shit because God said let go. And when that happened, dude, I felt 180 pounds less. I don't even know if I weigh 180 pounds right now, but if I weighed 175 right now, I feel negative 5 pounds, boy. Alright. I am gonna go inside, feed my dog, fellowship with my homies, and something is gonna come out of this video because God doesn't have us live and be and breathe and all that for no reason. So, grace and peace to you all. You don't have to give up on people
but you also don't have to give them anything. If that makes any sense. I think only a believer, honestly, could make sense of what I just said. I mean, I love everyone. I love the people who have wronged me. I love the people who have tarnished me, covered me in tar and thrown me in feathers. I love everyone. I love the people that told me everything was going to be okay when I didn't think it was going to. I love anyone that's come into my life or affected my life, which, if you want to really think about it, it's everybody, because we all... I mean, Adam, the first man, affects the last human. Christ affects everyone, seeing as he is dead. He's crucified. He's actually killed. He's entombed. He's resurrected from the dead, from complete non-existence. He's brought back to life and given life beyond the reach of death. And it's beautiful to know that death eventually will be eradicated, because it is the last enemy. I don't know where you have to find that. It's I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 23. Death, the last enemy. Maybe that's Christ, the first fruit. I don't remember which one it is, but it's in that little section. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 20 through 28. Guys, I made it to work today. I went to work. It's cool. Another day closer. Another day of getting through it, because that little slump that God put me in after my vacation, shit kicked my ass. The whole time I was thankful to Him, and the whole time I just felt this immense weight. This burden of existence. And I'm so thankful to be alive, and the existence was really death. It was death. It was sin weighing on me, and I know it. I don't have to convince any of you guys or try to make it seem like that's what it was. No, that's what it was. Because if it's not life, then it's death. It's black and white like that. People don't get that. Sure, there's the gray area, but that's called dying. We don't get to appreciate the pureness and beauty of life without the vile and disgusting bitterness of death. There's no sting. There's no sting in death. Because through Christ there's victory. Through death. He went through death and defeated it. He didn't go around it. He didn't step over it. He fucking went through it to defeat it. And that is not glorifying death. That's glorifying the Son who went through death. So, 23 minutes. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.